This Phoenix area called Deer Valley might be the new #1 place you should think about moving. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. I'm also going to talk about what's coming in this area. There is so much. This is just going to blow you away. Let's check it out. There has been so much talk about Taiwan Semiconductor moving to the greater Phoenix area and how that's going to impact this entire city. More specifically, I'm talking about North Phoenix in an area called Deer Valley, which has been kind of a sleepy little part of the greater Phoenix area, again, until Taiwan Semiconductor announced about 2 years ago that they're going to be opening up a $60 billion campus. It is almost ready to open, and we're starting to see, again, the growth in the greater Phoenix area right in this area, and it is one of the top areas that we are going to see massive improvements, housing, shopping, entertainment, restaurant. I could go on. So let's do that. Let me break it down for you. All right, first of all, where exactly is this Deer Valley area? You're going to notice it's right at the intersection, if you would, of Interstate 17 and also the 101. The #1 thing that really makes a city complete is freeway access. So it was interesting when they started to build the 303 up here, which seemed like it was going from nowhere to nowhere. There was clearly a purpose. Oh yeah, that $60 billion company that's coming into town. So right now, it still seems like a lot of open, vast desert. In fact, when we look at what the current land use is, you can see how the freeway systems are already there, and there's all this blue area. The green areas, both light and dark green, are going to be open land. This is going to be desert, parks, trails, and it will always be that open area. So that's one of the really big benefits of this area, that the city of Phoenix is making sure that that beautification is not going anywhere. But all the blue areas are up for grab. Now, if we look at what is slated for the future, you can see how this blue area has now turned to a couple of different shades. #1, there's pink. That's going to be commercial. That's going to be major companies that are going to be moving in around Taiwan Semiconductor, which one of them has already made that announcement. Amcor is building a $2 billion facility, and they are just the first of many. The other part is kind of like the stripe pink, and that's going to be multi-use, where it's going to be at least 2 or more different types of properties. It's going to be industrial, it's going to be commercial, it's going to be retail, it's going to be medical, etc. So you are going to see this part of the open, flat desert part. Again, don't be worried. We're keeping the desert there. But we are going to see massive, massive growth in this area over the next 10, 20, and even 30 years. So if you're looking to move to the greater Phoenix area and you want to see where that greatest opportunity is, this is definitely a hot spot area. Let's break these 4 corners down for you so you can get a little better idea of what it's like living in each of these areas. I want to start with my favorite part is Stetson Valley. Stetson Valley is an existing master plan community that honestly I don't feel like enough people talk about. Stetson Valley is consisting of 20 different neighborhoods, but the master plan has beautiful open areas that the desert that you can still see, and then also desert by design. That's what when the builder built these beautiful streets, and they made sure that it still had that desert-esque feel as you're driving through the area. It also backs right up to the canal, so you're going to find kind of, and I know you're going to laugh if you're coming from an area that's like from the beach or a lakefront, etc. We just love the fact that we have water in sight, and it's a great trail to go on, like if you're going to just go for a jog or dog walking. It's wonderful just to have something like that nearby. The Stetson Valley itself, again, is just this master plan community that has a ton of dog parks, dog walking areas, community parks, and the city of Phoenix is actually still working on one area. They're going to be even still making some improvements. Stetson Valley is about 20 years old, and there are going to be single family homes with really nice sized lots. And there's also townhome style single family homes in a gated community. Homes in this area for the townhome styles are going to be right around those mid 400s, and single family homes are going to be an easy start in the 5 or 600,000. And of course, if you get the larger homes with the larger lots and the beautiful mountain views, you're going to start getting close to that $901 million price point. But just outside of this northwest part of my four corners that I'm calling it for you, there are some other areas. And I'll tell you, a lot of people gravitate to this area because they don't have an HOA just on the other side of Happy Valley Road. But again, this is still north of 101. Now, these particular area, these neighborhoods, they're about 20, 25 years old as well. They have ginormous lots. And as you can see, as I'm flying through the neighborhood for you, there are RVs, there's campers, there's even a semi truck. So the question is this: when you don't have an HOA, you have a lot of freedom. But remember, that means all the other neighbors also have the same freedom. So would you like to live on a street that's filled with RVs and a semi truck? So again, there's a home for every buyer and a buyer for every home. So I like this northwest corner because of, again, the views, the accessibility to the freeways, medical care. I would say the shopping in this whole area is moderate. So we're going to talk about that later in the video, so you can't go anywhere. But let's still just kind of go back to the housing. So if you're in this northwest part that I'm talking about, you're going to feel a lot of space. Like really, you're going to feel a lot of space. And that's what a lot of people are looking for. And if you're looking for a master plan community, there are people that are very specific about wanting just to have these community amenities. You're going to love Stetson Valley. If you're looking for no HOA, this is an ideal area because you're right off the 17. And I'm going to talk about proximity a little bit later. But again, there's some great deals around that 5, 6, and 700,000 in this area. Now, if we go to the northeast corner, that's where we are seeing an area called Norterra. Now, Norterra has been building for a few years now, and I'm telling you, breathtaking, super modern. That's what you get with new construction, right? And the clubhouse, oh my God. Editor, let's take a look and show them around Norterra, because I have to tell you, this area steals my heart. Now, Norterra area is also where you're going to see most of the shopping and the new medical and things like that. And we will continue to see this area grow extremely rapidly. There is an organization, if I can remember the name, Asian Real Estate, I can't even remember it, but there's a group of Asian influencers, and I don't mean from social media. I'm talking about economists, analysts, investors that are coming into this area specifically because they're going to have a very high Asian influence in this area. It has already started, but with more people coming, especially from Taiwan, for those 8,000 jobs, by the way, at Taiwan Semiconductor, they're going to need and want a lot of those type of stores and restaurants and just familiarity from back home. So we are going to see tremendous growth in this area, but it's not going to happen overnight. We will start to see, and we already have started to see, a few restaurants starting to open up. We're seeing some grocery stores. So I would say give it about another 2 to 5 years, and this area will have a ton of those type of super awesome ethnic options. Right now, though, you're talking about corporate shopping, you're talking about Walmarts, you're talking about fast food. There is one super fun place there called the Stillery, and the Stillery is a country nightclub, if you want to call it that. They have, in my opinion, moderate food, fantastic live music. So you're really going there for the environment, and all their drinks are in ginormous mason jar glasses. So it's not even really for the drinks. It's really for the atmosphere. And if you love country dancing, which if you move to Arizona, you're going to at least you're going to try it out because that's who we are. And other than the distillery, I'm not sure there's a whole lot of nightlife over here. You're going to be driving probably another 10 to 20 minutes into town, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in just a few minutes. Let's talk about housing south of 101. And this is where people tend to gravitate towards the lower price point. And remember, I always tell people you get what you pay for. So let's take a look at the housing south of 101. It's going to be very, very different because here's the thing, guys. Inside the 101 freeway has been around for a long time. So it's going to be totally different types of housing. And it's also going to be slightly moderately different on the crime grade map. If we pull up the map, we can actually see overall, this part of the greater Phoenix area is relatively safe. North of the 1 is more favorable, but it's still not a bad crime grade rating south of 101. Now, the housing is going to be more affordable. You're going to find homes even in the $300,000 price point. I would say the moderate, the median area, median home price in this area right now is about the mid fours, but these are going to be smaller homes, although they're going to have decent sized lots. They're going to be either homes built in the 80s or with the ACs on the roof, or they're going to be built in the early 90s. And so again, these are going to be smaller homes. And one of the things on resale I would highly recommend, and this is always what we do, we ask about how old the roof is, how old the AC is, what is the condition of the windows, and if there is a pool, when was the last time it was remodeled? People don't realize that even though if a home has a pool, that at some point you have to resurface the pool, which can be rather pricey. Typically what we see is when these homes hit the market, because they are on the lower price point, many of these things need to be done. So this is when we start having the conversation with you, new or newer versus more convenient and close to everything. These are why you have to pick up the phone and give us a call so we can have the one-on-one conversations with you. We'll ask you the questions and you'll come to your own conclusion based on the information we provide for you. You just got to give us a call. So there's all the different areas of the four corners. Let's look at the schools. This is really important. Most of the people that are moving here are moving here with families. And when we look at the school ratings, again, they're very, very different. If you are in the Northwest area, you have some top rated schools. And again, when you are down below the 101 area, unfortunately, you're going to have to do a little bit more work as a parent and handhold your children. Or don't forget, we have open enrollment in Arizona, and there are some private schools, charter schools, and Montessori schools that you can enroll your kids in. Some, at most, I should say, at no cost. You would just have to provide transportation. This is why you got to give us a call so we can have these conversations. Now, let's talk about, again, that proximity. This particular part of the greater Phoenix area has an amazing mall nearby. This is Arrowhead Mall. Arrowhead Mall is in Glendale. And if you look at the map, it's a little confusing because you're thinking Glendale is down by Westgate. It's because all our cities are different shapes and everything. Let's just say it's within a 15-minute drive. How's that? And that's going to be Arrowhead Mall. So you're going to have great shopping. If you're looking for like the newness, if you are buying like up in Norterra or probably Stetson Valley, you're going to probably be gravitated towards everything that's up on Happy Valley Road. You can kind of pick and choose which way you want to go in this particular area. And like I said, we are only going to see more and more development, businesses added. This is going to include shopping. And one of the things that really, I think is really starving in this area is fine dining. There's not a lot of fine dining. So you're going to be heading back into Phoenix and possibly take that 101 straight over to Scottsdale or even Desert Ridge if you want to get into some of those really celebratory evenings on date night or, special occasions. The best part about this area is you have exploding employment. You already have freeway systems. And here again is the best part. And I've been saying you got to wait till this part. Proximity. The fact that you are off of Interstate 17 cannot be in a sweeter spot. You are going to be just 15, 20 minutes away from our own real lake here called Lake Pleasant. Lake Pleasant is ginormous. They have their own boat docks. You can rent houseboats. You can also enjoy water skiing. You can do fishing. You can do jet skiing. You can do overnight camping. There is a restaurant there on the water called Dylan's. You're going to absolutely love that area. And they also have some of the most amazing water park setup thing. It's the world's largest water slide at Lake Pleasant. That's literally going to be 15, 20 minutes from your house. And if you are a boat owner, there's, believe it or not, more boat owners registered in the state of Arizona than any other state in America, which I know seems so weird, but it's true. And if you are a camper, if you're a hiker, if you're a hunter, if you are an off-roader, 17 goes straight up north to Flagstaff and all the other cities in between. You're going to have Prescott, you're going to have Camp Verde, you're going to have, I can't even think of all of them, Cottonwood, you're going to, and then again, straight up to Flagstaff. There's a million tiny little towns that I have never, there's Jerome, there's Parks, there's Williams, I love it up there myself. Oh, you got to get to White Horse Lake. Again, this is right off of 17. So you could be on a Friday afternoon, go, hey, honey, we don't have any plans. Let's grab the kids and let's head up to Airbnb or lodges in literally less than 2 hours. That's all the way to Flagstaff from this side of town. I am telling you, if you are an outdoor enthusiast, if you like to go shooting, if you like to go fishing, if you like to go hunting, this is going to be your cup of tea. One of the other things people ask about too is living in this northwest part of the town, are they going to feel outside of town? Here's the thing, the Phoenix airport isn't super convenient from this part of the valley, but the fact that you have at least 2 freeways, and if you actually take 101 over to 51, that means you have 3 different freeways to get to the airport. So you have choices. You're not going to be bottlenecked into just 1 or 2 freeways. So you have choices if there was some kind of a backup. Medical care, there are an abundance of hospitals within a 30-minute drive. There is a brand new hospital right at the corner of Happy Valley Road and 17, and you will only see, again, more and more medical facilities and offices opening up in this area as time goes on. This part of the greater Phoenix area is slated to be the #1 project area that will completely transform over the next 20 to 30 years. If you have seen what the city of Chandler has evolved into over the last 30 years, that's what's going to happen in this part of town. Real estate is supposed to be a long game. So if you are thinking about buying for investment purposes, just make sure the numbers work, because I'll be honest with you, most of the people that are moving here for employment are going to be making very good money in this part of town. So they're not necessarily going to be renters. But if you're looking for someone to just pay off your mortgage and then you have maybe some homes to sell by the time your children go to college, there's some great opportunities here. Now, if you are looking for major types of entertainment, if you're looking for sports complexes for children to be involved in volleyball or soccer, or how about parents involved in some fun games, if you want disc golf, if you want to play regular golf, this area has proximity to all of the above within 15 to 20 minutes. Again, the lower part of this area, I shouldn't say the lower part, the southern part of the 4 corners of Deer Valley have been around for 20 to 30 years. It's not new. People today, though, are really gravitated towards newness. So if it's super new, you're going to be up in the Norterra area, and you're going to be waiting for the next 2 to 5 to 10 years for it to fill in. If you're in the Stetson Valley area, you have kind of the combination of a little bit. You're super close to the older areas, so you have access. How about to Hurricane Harbor? Did I say that right? Hurricane Harbor. It's been around for a long time. It kind of reminds me of some of the fun parks that we used to have when I was a kid. And you also have close proximity to Westgate. What's Westgate? Westgate is only the ultimate entertainment center in the entire greater Phoenix area. I don't think people necessarily need to live nearby because I'll be honest with you, the housing's kind of really all over the place around Westgate, but it's a great place to drive into. So if you're 30 minutes from the entertainment center, you're going to have Top Golf, you're going to have shopping, you're going to have Cardinals football, you're going to have festivals, you're going to have car shows, you're going to have ice skating in the winter time, you're going to have concerts in the park in the springtime. There's a lot of activity and stuff going on here. This is a good area. If you want to talk more about it, you just got to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. Days, nights, or weekends, we got your back when moving to Phoenix, Arizona, and we want to be your source of sources.